Thank you so much for being here. I am joining my colleagues today in the United States House of Representatives in Washington, and we are here to condemn the Iranian regime for the 1988 massacre and for the many other violations against the Iranian people since then. I am so proud of the support that my resolution has achieved from across the aisle. Democrats and Republicans across the House of Representatives have joined me. Over 100 authors in supporting House Resolution 627, urging the United States and the administration and our allies to publicly condemn the massacre and pressure the Iranian regime to provide detailed information to the families of the victims about their loved ones and their final resting places. I also urge the administration, along with my colleagues, and the United States and its allies to put on their agenda to help the families of these victims and help the Iranians that we love here in the United States that are suffering, to identify and prosecute the perpetrators of the 1988 massacres and the massacres of protesters against this regime in the recent uprisings. I have met this week with members of the Albanian government. I have urged them to do what I am urging my colleagues across Washington to do, and that is to stand with the people of Ashraf III. We have got to call on the United States government, and I am doing that today, and I have this week, in cooperation with our ally, Albania, to ensure the full protection of the Iranian political refugees in Ashraf III, which I have visited with personally. I am so proud to be able to talk to my colleagues here in Washington and tell them that I have been to Albania and I have met with Ashraf III residents. I have heard their stories. I have seen their faces. I have seen their displays, their pictures of their loved ones, and I have heard the very harrowing tales from many of those that are in Albania. And I'm calling on the United States government to stand with our friends there at Ashraf III. We helped them get to Ashraf III, and the Albanians have been a partner up until recently, a good partner. And I suggest that they continue their partnership with us, and we all stand with Ashraf III and those there. I also want to mention House Resolution 100 that we were so very proud to support with over 239 co-sponsors. And I want to express my belief in Madam Rajavi's 10-point plan. It is very, very sensible. Americans support this plan. Members of Congress support this plan. And I'm so proud to support this plan and to call Madam Rajavi a friend. I know she is a friend to Iran, and she is a friend to the Iranian people. And we are working together to ensure that Iran is free and democratic. And I thank you so much for your support. If you are living in Iran, if you are living under this regime, I encourage you to stand strong, to fight with your brethren, to fight with your fellow citizens, and know that the future is bright and that democracy is just on the horizon. If you continue your fight and you continue to fight what you believe in and fight for those who have fallen before you, then I do believe that you will achieve victory for the good people of Iran. Thank you.
Hey, it's a privilege to be here with our friends, Iranian-American friends. We want a free Iran that respects the human rights of its citizens. And today we have barbaric dictatorship in Iran that murders its people. As we walk around this room, we read about the 30,000 that were murdered in 1988. You go down at 120,000 people overall that were murdered by this regime. This regime hates its people, takes away the freedom of its people. They export terror to its neighbors, and they've murdered many Americans as well in Iraq. So I stand with the people of Iran because we want a free Iran that respects its own citizens, that wants to be a good neighbor, and that wants to be an ally with the free world. So I want to thank the folks here today for reminding us just how evil and barbaric this regime is. Also, we think of the refugees. The 3,000 or so refugees that are in Albania, they're there because, for political freedoms. Their lives are at risk. Many of them witnessed the crimes that were done. So we want to see those folks being protected, and hopefully someday they go back to Iran that is free, peace-loving, and decent. That's what we want. So thank you very much for allowing me to visit with you today. Thanks. My privilege.
My support, my engagement, my involvement and my participation in this effort. You know, I am reminded of things that Frederick Douglass said when he said that if you will find what a man will submit to, that is exactly what he or she will get. If you cave in, if you give in, if you give up, you know that you can never ever win. So I commend the resistance movement, the effort of people all over the world to try and say that they believe in humanity. They believe in democracy. They believe that we must fight to the end if victory is going to become that of the believers, that of those who submit themselves to the danger, submit themselves to not knowing what the outcome, what the result will be. But Frederick Douglass also said, and also believed, that protest and resistance were the ultimates in bringing about change. Change is difficult, it's elusive, and if you dig in, stay dug in, then I guarantee you that change will come in a little tent. And just like that river, I've been running ever since. It may be a long time coming, but I know some change is going to come. And so I urge you to never give up, never capitulate, never give in, never bow and submit to the oppressive forces. For I do believe that life is but a minute, just 60 seconds in it. Forced to move. We didn't seek it and we didn't choose it. But each one of us can determine how we use it. We suffer if we abuse it. Just a tiny bit, but eternity is in it. And so I say to you, Luther, continue. The struggle must continue, and you will conquer without doubt. Thank you very much, and have a good evening.
I'm Kathy McMorris Rogers. I'm proud to represent the people of Eastern Washington, Washington's 5th Congressional District in Congress. And I'm here today to stand with the people of Iran. Grateful for those who have brought forward, who are providing the transparency that we desperately need to help condemn the Iranian regime for the 1988 massacre, for denying the evidence of this manifest set of crimes against humanity. We all must seek the truth, and transparency is what gets us to the truth. So to the people of Iran, know that you have friends. You have friends that are working on your behalf here in the United States, and we will continue. Thank you. Good to be with you.
Thank you for allowing me to join you today. I'm Congressman Rich McCormick, Georgia 6. What we're addressing today is not just a problem for Iran, but for the world. Iran is sponsoring terrorism all over the world, and it has a horrible history of human relations. Have you seen what they've done to their own people? 30,000 arrests, hundreds upon hundreds of killings, murders, not through prosecutions and legal proceedings, but just through dictatorship, tyranny, a theocracy that has no godliness to it whatsoever. We stand today in defiance of something that started not just in 1988, but well before that, of somebody who's, in my opinion, an evil person, an evil regime that's oppressing people. That's why we signed on to H.R. 627, to protect those people who witnessed those atrocities, who are now the Persian diaspora in foreign countries, to include Albania, and why they should be protected, so they can be the last vestiges of what's right and what's true, what's factual. If you look at what's happening around the world right now, Iran is the biggest sponsor of foreign terrorism. They killed 600 American troops in Iraq. They've sponsored 80 attacks on U.S. troops just in the last 2 years. They have sponsored terrorism all over the world, and they should be listed amongst the worst and most evil propagators of terrorism around the world in the last century. So we stand resolute together, not just Republicans, not just the House, but as an American community who cares about people, who cares about what's right, who cares about what's moral. We need a new regime in Iran. We need to call for those despots to be thrown out. We need to stand against them in every way, shape, and force possible. Not just with our political might, but our economic might, and even our military when necessary, to protect those who would come in harm's way, who would otherwise be on our side, who would be great allies, who think very similar to ours. We appreciate your time today, and we look forward to a brighter and more moral future. God bless you.
I want to pay tribute to all of those who are keeping the faith with the people of Iran, many of whom have been massacred because they simply want greater liberty and the ability to live a life where they can achieve their own dreams. I want to thank very much the Iranian American community for bringing this extraordinary exhibit to the Capitol of the United States to remember those who have given their lives truly in the cause of the future for their own country, for their own people. And I will take this back to my own region. I represent several Iranian Americans in Ohio. And my advice to people, especially to the young people of Iran, don't lose hope. Don't lose hope. Freedom means never surrender. And to those who are in the United States of America, who are helping keep hope alive for the people of Iran, thank you, because you inject our country with the full meaning of liberty, and you help the American people understand what tyranny is and the excruciatingly high cost of not having freedom. So we elevate our hopes and our prayers for the people of Iran, that they will achieve their dreams, they will achieve an open society because of your efforts of standing at their side. Thank you so very, very much for allowing me to deliver this message of hope and the advice, again, freedom means never surrender. Thank you.